Bridge pose, Setu Bandha Shavasana. This pose is actually a really good one in a beginner, in beginner yoga. And it's also very good as a warm-up exercise. So it stretches the chest and the shoulders, it strengthens the hips, the core, the glutes, the calves, and the ankles. It enhances flexibility in the back poses. And so we're going to start by actually laying on our back, bringing your feet a little closer to your hips, maintaining your hip distance and knees are equal distance apart. Have your hands and arms on the floor, firmly on the floor. Your fingers can barely touch your heels. And we're going to inhale, and as you exhale, roll your shoulders back and under. And now inhale, and we're going to lift up to the sky, engaging those quads and those core and the core, and make sure that you've got your glutes energized. In this case, your arms are still flat on the floor. If it's available to you, you can move your hands underneath your body and clasp your fingers, engaging that core, lifting up. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and push up. Exhale and slowly unwind. Another variation for the bridge pose is using a block. You can use the block as you lift and support your lower back by placing the block underneath your sacrum. You can use the higher part of the block or the flat part of the block. In this case, I'm going to use the higher part. So again, hands are firmly on the floor and my heels are close to my pelvis. Knees are over top of my ankles and my toes are pointing forward. Inhale, exhale, roll the shoulders back and under, keeping the arms in line with the rest of the body. And inhale, lift. And you can actually lift a little higher just to slip the block underneath your sacrum. And here you can put the weight of your body on the block. This will actually help you with preserving the integrity of your back so you're not prone to an injury if you have any difficulties with your lower back. Inhale, exhale, lift again just to slowly remove the block and come back down. Another modification for bridge pose is to actually lift and come up on your tippy toes as you engage, energizing the quads, and you're energizing and engaging those glutes and lifting. Engaging the core. Inhale, exhale, slowly come back down. Another modification for bridge pose is to grab the ankles. So you can move your ankles a little closer to your hips and keeping your knees hip distance apart from your hips. And you're going to hold on to your ankles and inhale and lift, engaging those shoulders underneath. And you can actually readjust as you lift up, holding on to your ankles. In this particular pose, you can also go up on your tippy toes. Come back down. Another modification from here would be to lift your one leg. So inhale and lift. Exhale and unwind. Bridge pose, Setu Bandha Shavasana. Next pose I'm going to show you is balancing table pose. Starting on all fours. Hands are directly below the shoulders, finger pads are firmly pressed into the mat. Your knees are hip distance apart. The tops of your feet are flat on the floor. And from here, we're going to keep our back straight, a nice straight line with the spine, not letting the back sink down. And in here, we're going to inhale and extend the left arm forward. Inhale, you can bring it back up to your ear. Inhale and extend the right leg back. Keeping a nice, straight, firm line with the spine and your arm and your leg are straight line extension of your body. Inhale, exhale, come back down. Another modification for this pose, if you're not wanting to lift your leg, is that you can simply inhale and stretch your arm forward. Bringing it up to your ear, if that's an option to you. Keeping your gaze down, fingers are planted firmly on the floor, knees are distance apart from your hips. And extend. Another modification, if you're not wanting to put your hand forward and lifting your arm, you can actually just extend your foot back and your toes can touch the floor. You can extend your arm now, lift, and come back down. Another modification will be just simply to extend your foot. And if so inclined, you can actually lift your leg, maintaining that integrity of a straight line and straight spine. Balancing table pose. The next pose I'm going to show you is bound angle pose. Baddha Kona Shavasana. I'm going to start in a seated position. This pose strengthens the hips, the inner thighs, and the knees, and it stretches the back. So sitting in a cross-legged position, rolling your shoulders back and straight up, sitting straight up. We're going to, I think I'll turn the other way. Okay, so in this pose, we're going to actually bring our feet, our knees together. And then as you inhale, exhale, allow the soles of feet to come together and the knees to just fall apart. And then grabbing your big toes with your fingers and inhale and exhale as you come forward. Exhale, come back up. Another variation for this pose would be to inhale, come back to the beginning. We'll have our knees close to our hips. Soles of feet come together as the knees fall apart. Grabbing the big toes. And then inhale and slowly lean back a little bit. And inhale and exhale, lifting the feet and balancing on the hips. Inhale, exhale, come back down. Another variation of this pose would be bear pose or boat pose, both of which I have difficulty doing at this point in time. So I will attempt one leg. So again, leaning back and then leaning back again and lifting one leg. See, I'm unable to do it. But with practice, I will be able to eventually. Another variation of this pose too is to use blocks. If you have your blocks readily available, you can actually put them on either side for your knees to rest on, just to support your knees if you have any knee injuries or low back problems. So again, feet close together, let your feet, the soles of your feet come together, let your knees fall to the sides, and your knees can actually rest on the blocks. And then you can grab your big toes, inhale, sitting up tall, exhale as you come forward into a forward fold. And as you inhale and exhale, see if you can come a little closer to your feet. Exhale, come back up, unwind. Another variation is you can sit on the edge of your blanket just to elevate the hips a little bit. It makes it a little easier for this pose. So just sitting on the edge of your blanket, you can use your blocks also, but again, we're going to put our feet together, hug your knees in, soles of feet come together, knees fall apart, sitting on the edge of the blanket, sitting up nice and tall, Inhale, exhale as you fold forward. Bound angle pose.